Welcome to sleepingdog.video. I also wanted to say I have a website, capturetheball.tennis, because I'm a tennis teaching professional, as well as I like to do video work, video editing, video camera work, both in tennis and other projects. So for all those that might be listening from the tennis industry, going forward for USPTA, we are all, for our webinars going forward, we're all going to use the Zoom meeting app. And I just wanted to describe for any newbies that need to know how to set it up on their iDevices, meaning the iPhones and iPads. And it's probably kind of similar on an Android device. I also have the Google Pixel 4 XL, a Google device, but I'm showing you how to do it on my 2020 iPad Pro. So stay tuned. I wanted to delete the app that you're supposed to download called Zoom Meeting app. So write that down and you'll see how to spell it. But you probably know how to spell it if you understand what I just said. Zoom, ZOOM, meeting, second word, MEETING, and then APP. Now you'll see what it is. So first, you need to go on your phone. It's going to look differently because I'm going it from my iPad. I don't have an iPhone to show you on the iPhone. But what I want to show you, I deleted Zoom Meeting and I'm redoing my video because I want it to be a tiny bit simpler. So I'm going to show you from scratch. So somewhere I just have, this is just a folder, like any folder, any physical folder where you have like documents put together. So all my Apple apps I have together. So if I open this, yours may just be on your screen somewhere. But try to find this icon with the A and the blue background that says underneath it, App Store. That's the Apple App Store for iOS. And iOS is your iPhone. So whenever you hear iOS, that's just the operating system that runs on your iPhone. That's all it means. And when you want to run something like this Zoom app, everything's an app, which is a program, an app. So everything that you want to run, you want to get off the App Store by Apple. So anytime you say, well, how do I get such and such app? You know, I hear about such and such app. Well, always go to this icon right here to what is called the App Store. So when you click on that, you are going to see something similar to this. Maybe it's not exactly like this, but it's something similar. Now, I'm going to delete this, but you may see something more like this screen. Now, I'm using my mouse. So now on the iPad, you can use a mouse. So now I can show you, though, because I'm doing an app called Screen Record that's built into the iPad. And this little round dot is the cursor that then I can show you what I'm doing, which is really nice and handy and cool. So, but anyway, up here, you see up here, this little icon that looks like a magnifying glass. Anytime you see that, you know that that's a search field where you type something literally into this field called the search field. This over here, don't really worry about it. This is Siri, where you could talk to it if you wanted by clicking on this one. And clicking is the same thing as tapping with your finger. Clicking is a term that's for your mouse when you use your computer, like at work. But tapping is referred to when you're using something like your iPhone. Okay, I'm back. My sister just dropped off her two dogs. I'm living in the guest house, and she is working out of the main house. Anyway, I'm back, and so up here you'll see that this says Games Apps Store, just telling you what you can search for. So anyway, don't worry about that. Just see this little line here, that's your little cursor. And I'm going to type in Zoom. When I type in Zoom, it's gonna show Zoom app for iPad because I have an iPad. Yours may not say iPad. And it's gonna say Zoom app and then Zoom cloud meeting. Now, all these might be the same thing. I'm not 100% sure. But I know that USPTA said to download the Zoom Cloud Meetings with an S app. So if you click on this one, you should be good to go. Now, I already signed into the App Store and I said it's okay for them to remember my password on this particular computer, which is an iPad. So I don't have to re-sign in. But when I click on it, you'll see what happens and what I mean by that. So when I do that, you see, I get to this screen. Now you may get to a screen that asks you to sign in. And when you sign in, you'll need to know your Apple ID and password. So you'll have to find that somewhere on one of your notes. Once you find that, and your ID is just whatever email address you use for Apple. So it's whatever the email address, and then whatever the password you set up when you set up your account with Apple when you first got your phone. So that may be a little bit of a work through. But once you can do that, then you can download the app. Right now it's showing me the little cloud symbol with the arrow. And that means from this cloud, some thing way out in space somewhere, I can get the Zoom cloud meeting. And this arrow down means download. So that means I'm getting it from somewhere from Apple. They have it stored at Apple, and they're going to give it to me over the internet. And once you sign in, you'll see something like get, like I'm circling here. So if you see get over here where I see cloud, then you're fine. Just click on get and you should be good to go. I'll show you what it does on my computer. And it only shows the cloud for me because I've already downloaded Cloud Meeting once already. So it knows that I already downloaded it. So it's in my library at Apple that I've downloaded it once. And anytime I want to download it again, I'll see this little symbol. And I'll be able to download. If I haven't downloaded it before, it'll show me this little get symbol or some other similar symbol. Usually get symbol means that you don't have to pay for it. That's a free app. and there's another symbol for when it's a paid app. It'll show you the amount of money. So it'll show you 99 cents, $1.99, in this little place with the background. It'll show you a blue, let's say $1.99, and a white background. And then you know that when you click on it, you're going to pay $1.99 for it. Now, I'm not sure. So Apple may or it may not ask you to sign in. If it doesn't ask you to sign in, then that's fine. If it asks you to sign in, then sign in and then go to the download. But don't worry about it if it doesn't ask you to sign in. If it does ask you to sign in, just kind of go with it. And then go with, so I'm going to download. So I'm going to download this. This little round symbol is showing me the progress. I can stop the download, but now it shows me open. And why do you think it shows me open? Can you think of that? So open means that, okay, I already downloaded it. It's just going to open it from my computer or iPad. So it's already been downloaded. So if I go here, it's just showing me that I already downloaded it, basically. So the cloud means that I didn't download it, but I paid for it. And whether it's free or whether I had to pay money for it, doesn't matter. The cloud symbol means that I already paid for it and I can download it for free. I don't have to pay for any apps twice. I only have to pay for an app once. So that's different. So when I open, then I can do two things. I can click open, or I can go down here and you would use your thumbprint. I don't have on this particular iPad a thumbprint anymore, but you will. And then I would go over here and go down here and go down, and I'm going to scroll over until I see on my apps Zoom. So it may be on my first screen like this, or I may have to use my finger and go over to where Zoom was downloaded. But just swipe across until you find the app, Zoom. And it's going to be this little video camera, white video camera on a blue background. So once you've done that, I'll pause. And I may stop there until you can do all those. And then I may do a second one. So the second one is going to be click on the Zoom app. And the Zoom app is going to do a start meeting. Now you're going to see something similar to this. It may be a little different because your screen is smaller than mine. And Apple likes to set things up according to screen size. So don't be worried if your screen isn't exactly like mine. But it's going to be something similar. So you might have something that says join a meeting, sign up, and sign in. Now what you want to do is you want to do the sign up because you haven't done this before. So before you join a meeting, you want to sign up. Now, sign up, I'll click on it and show you what sign up does. Sign up will give you something like this. It'll show you the date. This data will not be stored to give you different information. Confirm. Okay. Then whatever they want to do there. But you got the idea. So just go through, confirm all this is correct. This today you're signing up. and then confirm this. And then, and it didn't work for me because maybe it knows I signed up already. I'm not sure, but it should work for you. I will figure that out if it gives you the same problems. Um, but it should work for you. So if you go back to this screen, I'll cancel. I'm going to sign in. So I'm going to sign in like this. And then you could sign in with Google, but and you could sign in with these other things like Facebook. But I would sign in with your account that you just set up. So remember to write down your email address and your password. So you could type it in. I'm going to use all my gadgets I have. One called LastPass and one called iCloud Keychain, which if it asks you to save it in your iCloud Keychain once you've signed in for the first time, I would say yes, because it's going to be pretty darn safe, and it's going to be safe enough, and it's going to be a lot easier to sign in the next time because you won't have to go through this sign in stuff. And so when we're doing meetings all the time, that's just going to be so much easier. And I say, excuse me, for the things you do all the time that you're going to be doing almost every single day, that's really important to work, I say, I'm going to be a little laxed on the security and not so laxed on the security that someone's going to break in so easily, but laxed on the security that I'm not gonna want to sign in, try to remember my password every single freaking time I want to go and just go to a meeting real quick and have the fun of having a conference again and getting away from thinking about COVID-19. So I'm kind of in the boat, even that I am an MCSE Microsoft certified systems administrator. Before I got my certification, I just wanted to say I am in the boat that I want things as simple as possible, especially if I'm going to log in every single time. If I'm going to log in once in a while, then maybe the security, I want it to be stronger. But that's my 2 cents. You can log in every time if you want to log in every time. I just recommend if it pops up and says, do you want to save to the Apple keychain or anything like that, I would say yes. And it's doing it through Apple, and Apple's pretty good on security. So I would trust Apple if it's iCloud. iCloud is Apple. So if it says something about iCloud and to save your password to iCloud, I would say just say yes. Just click on yes. Or okay, or whatever the thing is. So the key symbol down here is, that's for the Apple keychain or iCloud. You might call it iCloud. You might call it Apple keychain or keychain, but it's all the same. So those are all different words for the same thing. This says LastPass because I have a separate password manager for me. So I can do it through LastPass or Keychain. You'll probably just do it through Keychain. But you're going to log in first. You're going to log in by your newly created email and password for the app Zoom. So you're going to do that first. Remember that. I am going to do it down here because I've already set it up. So just remember that, see if that makes sense. Okay, now you see how my app logged me in as John Gerard 94707 at gmail.com. That's my email address I set up for Zoom. All this is my password that I set up for the Zoom app. So for the Zoom app, not for Apple, for the Zoom app. So this login has nothing to do with the Apple App Store. This is a separate login for the app Zoom. Every app is going to have their own logins. And they're going to be separate. That's how iOS was designed from the ground up. They were designed with one app after the other. App. Not the complicated way that Windows works. So if you want to do something like Zoom and have the meeting, that's the Zoom app. If you want to go to USPTA-U for university, and you want to go look up what the next meeting is on their site using Safari browser, is just another app. So it's called a web browser, Safari, and that gets you to the internet, but it's just an app. So it's just another program that resides on your phone. So this is just an app called Zoom. So once you understand that concept, iOS starts to make sense. And you have to sign in. So it's either called login, it might called login, it might called sign in. Each app can use the term login to mean sign in and sign in to mean login, but they're one and the same. They're the same thing. So try not to be confused about that. Forget password means that if you can't remember your password and you've already set up your account, click on forget password or forgot password, and it will step you through how to recover your password. And it's pretty easy to do. They'll show you step by step how to recover your password. We don't have to do that for now. So we're just going to click sign in. Invalid email or password. Now I have to find out why it's saying invalid email or password. So maybe I have to go back and say forget password and show you that. So I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, and this is, okay, so my problem with signing in was my auto sign in was signing in somehow with a different password than what my password should have been. So I got that sorted out. So anyway, that's how you would do that. And then here you can, then you'll usually be sent a link when you sign up for a webinar, they call it. You will be you send a link, and it'll explain. If you're doing it on an iPhone, it will have instructions on how to do that. If you're doing it on an iPad or a computer, it'll have instructions for how to do that. Normally, it just has a like a click here button. So it'll say here on the screen with an underscore, and it'll be maybe in blue. And that's the link to click that word, and it will, normally for me, it signs me in with my full name, and I don't have to do it. But you'll have to see if it works for you, or you have to, or anything else pops up. But pretty much that's how you join a meeting. And then you'll get a drop-down list If there's a button in the top when you get to the meeting that you can click on up here somewhere in this screen. I can't show you because I'm not in a meeting. And then it'll have a drop down list that'll say like chat and some other things. And the chat one is a window that allows you to chat with people, and also it will allow you to ask questions. So I don't know how it works on an iPhone, whether you can only do audio only and you can't do chat because of the small screen on the iPhone. But I just know it allows chat on my iPad. So other than that, I think you should be able to follow along and get signed up. So I will talk to you and everyone later.